Ahoy,
Ahoy,
everyone!
ahoy, everybody! How's it going? We are in the zone.
We're in the
Aquazone. Oh dear. Anyway,
we're feeling bubbly today.
So we have a fun show for you today, and I've managed to round up an expert on Aquazone, which I'm super excited about. One of our community members happens to be a huge fan of Aquazone, and so we are going to have him on in a little bit with us to talk about Aquazone.
I am loving this diver here.
You like the diver?
It's great, just right outside the window.
This is actually from Lego. This is from Lego's website. They provide like some video backdrops. Like you saw, we used one before. We used the Benny one. This one's very silly. So
thanks, Lego.
But before that, we have some viewer mail. Viewer mail.
This is swinging right in. It's viewer mail.
This comes from our awesome friend Lucas Emery.
We may need to turn off autofocus. I notice it going back and forth a lot. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have to. We'll see how that does, but we'll need it when it comes time for
You're captain
pins.
engineer, so you just let me know.
Yeah, I've gotta. Yeah, there's only. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, viewer mail. So we are going to look at this. So let's see. I've got our.
Here, we like that graphic
camera
so much. We'll just send it by here too. It's viewer mail.
So check it out. There is some amazing stuff in here. I'm so excited for this, and I gotta just double check here. I'm gonna bring us in a little bit closer, everyone.
Here, I'm gonna start.
There we go.
I'm gonna take them out of the bag.
Yeah. So first of all, there's this awesome bag of just like animals and food. Like, how did you know?
Well, this is someone who watched the show really closely, right? Because there's so many. It's like all the Easter eggs from the show.
Right. So we've got a husky. Oh,
Gesundheit in advance and again.
oh my goodness. Excuse me. Oh, I'll be right back. Oh, look, I have a handkerchief here.
Hey, where did that come from?
No idea. All right.
Look at this. We've got braided bread.
Yeah, so we've got the little bread. We've got a couple of gold hearts here. A collection of cats, including Scarfield, my very most favorite cat. We've got Spencer. We've got an awesome... the zombie chauffeur and the zombie chef from Monster Fighters.
We've got Sinead O'Connor's new job as a construction worker.
Well, I think this is
her.
Oh,
there's a hard hat.
I think this is her, yeah.
Sorry there.
That's fine.
Of course she has to wear her safety gear, right?
Yes, and another construction worker whose name I don't know. We have an awesome tile. Oh, whoa, sorry.
What's that?
I forgot.
Oh, look at that!
Hi. You get to see both of us. Sorry about that. That's just the way it is.
It's us and us.
It's us and us. I can fix that probably, but you know.
Oh, it's just us and us. Think of us like the Hollywood Squares.
There, is that better? You only really need one of us. All right, so there's here's the little Lego tile. All right.
What is the the detail on this? I've got my glasses on. What is the detail on the Lego tile?
I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on.
It's very small.
But this one is actually Lucas's sig fig. So we have like, hey, Brett Hooper, how's it going? Good to see you. So
this is so
there's
thoughtful,
that, right? And we got the blue teddy bear that I was talking about, another teddy bear, a pie, which I love the Lego pie. Now,
I thought it's kind of the Rosetta Stone to our recent shows.
It is. It kind of is. Now I'm gonna have to. Okay. But this is another extra special treat. I gotta say, I'm super excited about this. He sent us the Mr. and Mrs. Gingerbread minifigs from the Gingerbread House set.
With skirt and mustache.
With skirt and mustache. And then the Lego, the Gingerbread baby tile. So, pretty awesome. Lucas, thank you so much. And one final, we got Logan cookie time.
all these little surprises.
Yeah, Logan cookie time. With a Logan like Lego dog and a cookie.
And a cookie.
With a little paw print on it.
He's very
That
happy.
is so awesome and thoughtful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lucas, for this wonderful little package. It was just so lovely. And of course, Unikitty.
Well, these are
Ahoy,
definitely...
ahoy, Alyssa. How's it going?
These are definitely going in Mox. I can't...
Yes.
We have to make a little scene for the gingerbread family.
Oh, I'm so excited about the gingerbread family. I can't even tell you. Well, let's just let's say hello. We're kind of doing things a little out of order today because we have a special guest. But Alexander 23 is here. Apples is here from Europe. Hey, how's it going?
Brett Hooper,
Aquamike TV, Brickman Mosaics Art, Brickworm, and somebody who just popped out of existence there. I don't know who it was.
Chris donating plasma antibodies chalice.
You're such a good citizen,
That's awesome.
Chris. You're always so good. Cowboy Cornado, ahoy howdy. Darren Siegfried is here. David Wilkie. Sorry, I keep saying.
I know, right?
Oh my goodness.
Darren Siegfried is here, and Fabufan MKE.
And Fabufan MKE. Gary Mullane. Greebling Wizard is here. The Hooded One. Johnny Cat. Maniac for Bricks. I am on.
That's a
I
great
have
name.
just flown out of my head. I don't know
Well,
where
I
I'm
think
at right
maybe
now.
you have the bends.
Matthew, maybe. I need this.
Don't come up too quickly. Well, Maniac for
There we
Bricks
go.
is here. Matthew
Yes.
builds bricks.
Hey,
Monica
Matthew.
Berry and Moto.
Rob Zaccardi. Jake Sadovich is here. Hey, Jake, how's it going? Shane Levan. Vinny Craft, that's new. Hi, how's it going, Vinny? Welcome to the stream. Wilfred is here. Bonsoir. Zarakino, Kim, the soft end of the sentence, and then the exclamation point on the end of the sentence. Alyssa.
Awesome. Well, we're all we're gonna take a deep dive today into the Aquazone.
We are going to take a deep dive into the Aquazone. Okay, so, goodness. All right, well, we're going to have, I think it's about time that we brought on our guest.
He's
Everybody.
been waiting so patiently in the airlock.
He has been waiting patiently. So let us bring on our special guest. And as soon as he pops into you know how it is with the there he is.
Yay!
It's Fourth World Adam. That's a picture. We actually all met up at Bricks Cascade, which was awesome. So it was always fun to get to meet people. And
Here, I'm gonna go on this side.
there you go. Hey, Adam.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Adam.
Good to see you. How's it going?
Great. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for coming on kind of last minute. I have to admit, can you move? There we go. I have to admit, I messaged poor Adam early this morning. I was like, hey, want to come talk about Aquazone? So he was a good sport and is here. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, this should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be this will be a good one.
And a nice lighting effect with the Venetian blinds there.
I know. Did you set that up ahead of time?
Yeah, the sun came up right now, and I'm like, really? Come on. It's been cloudy all morning.
And if it was later in the day, it could be total film noir moment with your detective agency.
It's like film noir, but cheerful.
Did I shut them? I have a light above me.
It looks pretty cool. It depends if it's bothering you.
No, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Cool. Well, so golly, excuse me. Welcome, and let's do. I know you said you have pins, so let's do pins.
Okay. I couldn't find any stickers, so pins is what it is.
That's
No
okay.
problem.
Not a problem
That's okay.
at all.
We have stickers.
Yep. Let's see what you got.
Okay. Hopefully this will come into focus. This is my Mr. Miracle and Dark Side pin with the baby.
Oh, very cool.
I don't know if it's in focus.
Yeah, you kind of have to cover your face and then put the. Yeah, it's a little confusing.
Sorry, I'm backwards.
Yep.
Backwards.
Yeah, I feel your pain.
Yes, we do. We go through this every time.
Well,
I understand. It's really cool though. I really like that.
It's to match my Mr. Miracle shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Oh,
cool.
very nice. Very nice. All right. And then we've got. Let's see. What have we got going on here? Oh, nope. That's you.
Well, here I
there we
wanted
go.
to.
There's
I
us.
didn't have any underwater ones, but Mike looks kind of like he could be an undersea creature. So I've got Mike from
Monsters Inc.
Thank
Yes,
you. Whoa,
who
it
seemed
just
to-
disappeared. I got Monster Fighters, and I knew that
He
wasn't it.
seemed to be
Monsters, Inc.
fading in and out of existence, I think.
Yeah, he
there.
was. Oh well,
Um,
he's green. We'll see how that works.
And then I've got, and this is going back into the archives, but I got my Disney's World of Color, and it is not wanting to focus.
We are offering you hints
Disney's
of
World
Disney
of
pins
Focus.
today.
Yeah, this is kind of like, oh, there we go. Ta-da! I love this one. I got this one as a trade with someone in the in the park. I was like, "You don't want this? How do you not want this?" So, but hey, I wasn't sad.
That's incredibly detailed.
I know it's a really really nice pin. I gotta say.
Last minute change here because
Oh,
Mike
you're
was
changing.
green. Yeah, we're gonna go
Going
with
back to the
R2D2.
old standby
He's my
R2D2.
really one of my favorites.
Absolutely. All right. So well, I you know what? I don't see why. Do we want to do stickers today, or do we want to go? Do we want to? Shall we move on?
Why don't we dive right in?
Okay.
Aha, ha.
Sorry there.
Dive right in.
Yes,
Get it?
There's some
Get it?
sophisticated. Can you tell I was a communications major?
And there's
Hours and hours of study went into that horrible.
and there's always plenty of time for. We always have stickers. So stickers are always a thing that we will come back to. But so let's talk about Lego and undersea, specifically undersea, sort of like a general overview of undersea stuff that they did. So there's a long history of Lego doing underwater sets.
How far in the past are we going?
I have to get my notes. I have many notes. I took lots of notes. So Aquazone originally started in 1995, and it did not, unlike future sets, which we'll see like when we move on to Atlantis. I don't believe, and Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that any of the characters had names. They were just like Aquanaut or.
There was one character that I know had a name, and he was one of the Aqua Sharks, one of the first villains.
Mhm.
His name was Thresher.
Ah, okay.
Like a Thresher shark, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So I did want to say back in 86, 87, I just sent you a couple of photos through Instagram. But back in like 86, 87, Jens Knudsen, the guy that was like really responsible for, he was responsible for the minifigure, but he was really responsible for a lot of the themes, and he oversaw all of the space themes through the 80s. And in about 86, 87, they had created this Seatron like subcategory of space.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the Seatron stuff eventually got used in Aqua Sharks, and then like in later sets like Space Explorians and stuff. So they had really like thought about this in the 80s, but Lego didn't want to pull the trigger on it just yet.
Now, would that have looked similar to Blacktron? I don't know where that fits in there, but I see stuff that looks like Blacktron in Aquazone.
Yeah, Aquazone is very Blacktron style.
Yeah, it was the main colors were black and then that trans neon green for the most part. And then they kind of shifted gears in a different way too. They used this weird like lavender purple color with the trans neon green. So that's as far back as I found any information on like kind of a subset of space going into Aquazone. But they had intended it to be an actual space, like this is an underwater planet completely.
Well, so we have the I brought up a slideshow. I don't know if you're watching also on YouTube. It'll take a second. There's a little bit of a delay, but I put a slide up of one of the early Aquazone sets, and oh look, I even have a list of all the things. And thank you for something just happened. I heard the trilling music, but I'm not quite sure what happened because I think it was hidden. So Jeff McElwee says Seatron was the best theme that never happened.
And he says it had there was a monorail.
There was a monorail, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wait, an Aquazone monorail or Seatron?
Yeah. Seatron.
Oh my goodness! Oh man, that would have been amazing. So, okay, so this one I've got here is called the Underwater Scooter. And obviously a very small set without a lot of pieces. Now, can you tell me, Adam, there you go. Is that a glow-in-the-dark helmet construction?
No, this is not glow in the dark at all. This is just one visor over this massive. That's the whole thing of it. It's huge.
That's
and it can
so
hold,
cool.
Yeah, it's got clips and it can hold like knives on it.
Yeah, and Alex points out that the chrome weapons were amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd seen chrome weapons before these. I haven't done a search for them.
I believe that they were introduced in the Aquazone series, along with the octopus were introduced in this series.
Yeah, actually, I had noted that down. So the octopus, the stingray, and the chrome crystal were all originated with Aquazone. I'm all about those chrome crystals. Look at that.
Yeah,
Very nice.
they're really cool. They're really cool. Hey, and you just printed a crystal.
I did. It's true. I printed 2 of them, and I just finished printing a silver one. So now I have a gold one and a silver one.
Did you show that on the show yet?
Not the silver one. No.
Here, I'm gonna get them.
Okay. That octopus piece is one of my favorite pieces, despite my crippling fear of anything with tentacles. I love it. Oh yeah. I
thought you were a fan of Lovecraft.
I am, but it's because that's why, because it scares me. But yeah, there's my here, I'll see if I can.
Yeah, those are amazing.
So these are the little crystals that I printed up on my 3D printer, gold and silver. Yeah, these are really fun. Oh, Jeff sent something via Instagram too. Okay, I will see. I will check it out. But let me go back to this. Here we go. Oh, nope, slides. All right, so next up we have, this is called the crystal detector.
Hang on. That one doesn't belong.
That one doesn't belong, huh?
That's a little bit later.
Oh yeah, these are not in order, by the way.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
These are not in date order. I just kind of
weren't there like 35 of them?
Yeah, there was a lot. So I kind of cherry picked the ones that I thought were fun or interesting to look at and to talk about. So
did you have a notable one that was in the interim?
No, and if you have, I have a list here. I've got about 8 or 9 of them here. But if you want to talk about like dates and stuff like that, please do, because
no, it's fine.
We'd love to know that.
Just that guy came out, I believe, in 97, I think. That was after that was the Aqua Raiders, I believe.
Right, because there was the sub themes. So there was Aquanauts.
Oh, I lied. I'm sorry. It's the Hydronauts. That's a Hydronaut.
Oh god, so 98, 99-ish. So this is there were sub themes were Aquanauts, which was 95 to 96, and there were 8 sets. There's Aqua Raiders, which was 95 and 96, and then came back again in 98, apparently, like at the end.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, so there were 3 sets of those. Aqua Sharks, which were the villains. Am I correct on that one?
Yep. Yeah.
And that was, I don't have a date on that. Whoops. Then Hydronauts was 98 and 99, so kind of the latter like wave of things, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Stingrays, which I'm personally interested in.
They were cool.
Yeah, that was 98. And then they brought Aqua Raiders back as its own thing very briefly for only like 7 sets in 2007.
Yeah, 2007. But apparently, though, they're unrelated themes.
Yeah, but and yet there are similarities.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
I have a question for you then. I've in the last little bit, I've developed a theory about this, and that is that in 95 and 96, it was a honeymoon period for science exploration on the sea bottom. There were no villains. There was just science. There was adventure. And then when the Aqua Sharks showed up, things started getting serious.
Oh, now Maniac for Bricks is saying some pieces of story suggest Aqua Sharks were a rebelling faction from the Aquanauts. Wow, that's I didn't know the lore was so deep.
They were mining originally. They were miners, and they were mining those crystals.
Right.
And I believe in some, maybe the UK comics back in the day might have alluded to that Thresher was an Aquanaut.
Well, and I think too what's interesting about that, is that whole hunting for crystals things comes back again in Atlantis, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yep.
And I can't remember if now were there crystals involved in the redo of Aqua Raiders?
I think crystals were in. Possibly.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of those because I did not find them very interesting. That 2007 line, I wasn't big on those.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm looking at Instagram. Everybody's like, I'm sending you things on Instagram. Oh, Adam, those are awesome. I wish I could share these. I can't share from Instagram right now.
Can
but
you hold your phone
These are pretty amazing. I can do that in a little bit. We'll do that. We'll go back and talk about that because that is outrageous.
I wish I would have thought about that right when you messaged me this morning, and because I have them just on my phone, they're always there.
Well, you know what? If you can email them to me like right now, I might be able to get them. I might be able to get them in. We'll see what we can do. Maniac for Bricks says crystals were brief in the 2007 Aqua Raiders. Okay, very good. All right, so moving on from this one. Again, I just picked things that I thought looked cool. So this is the hydrocrystallization lab or center,
Hey, yep.
And it featured a raised base plate, which is awesome. Oh, you swung a
my cat just jumped in here.
It's not Logan cookie time just yet.
No, goodness gracious. So that one's one of the ladder sets too.
So what I love about this is, and again, why I kind of said it makes me think of Blacktron, was there was all of these like crystal domes and lots of transparent pieces, and that egg dome piece is just amazing.
How about those red plants? Red bushes are cool.
Yeah, so that was the first time too that those plants in like 94, 95, they did them in the Western themes.
Right.
And then they brought them in, and actually it's a different piece. So you have the regular like plant.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But then they made a half one where you can, so it's like this, and then you insert the irregular one inside.
To make bigger ones.
Yeah, so when you have the red one,
you combine them. Yeah, I noticed that and I saved it till very last because it's a really good one. But there was actually an accessory pack that you could get that featured 2 of the like unique items in that series. Yeah. So that was like pretty good. All right. So we've got that was the crystallization lab. Sorry, going back to slides. Sorry, I don't use this control panel very much anymore, so I'm like, All right, so this was, now I believe this is one of the earlier ones. This is 2162, the Hydro Reef Wrecker.
Oh, and there's that combined plant.
And there's that combined plant we were just talking about. Now, this particular one, this Hydro Reef Wrecker, really looks like they just kind of threw everything they had at it.
Oh yeah, so that was the that one there. There was maybe 3 or 4 sets in that line, and that's kind of like my next goal is to continue to get those. They're really cool. They have the cool stickers on the eyes and on the trans pieces, and then there's one of them has like that bucket, the scooping bucket that's got teeth on it.
Right.
It's really cool.
And this one's got the gears, like the pointy thing. It kind of looks like a sea turtle, this one, a little bit.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's
like a sea turtle riding on the back of like another critter.
It's really cool. But it's got the shark, which had already been a piece for a long time. And now
a guy in a cool helmet too, and it came trans green.
Yep, this is the trans green. So this is what zone did this come from? Like, do you know which?
This was this was just the Aqua Raiders, the first Aqua Raiders.
Okay, that's what I thought because of the earlier set number and also a kind of more simplistic-y design than some of the later ones, and the use of the trans yellow green, whereas in the later ones we got actual green. Yeah, like straight up green.
Yeah, they did do the trans helmet in blue for the Aquanauts.
Ooh.
And so then they did it. They did.
I think we do. Yeah.
But we don't
then
have
they did
the
it green for
flipper
them.
guy. The flippers are cool too.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, because they did the Diver series the same year, so they introduced a lot of new pieces all at the same time. But they did put a lot, across the themes together so that they could get, I think, more bang for the buck. Come on.
Right.
Did you say there were comics that came out at the same time?
Yeah, there was. The UK had a lot of like different merchandise than we did, and they did have comics, and they had comics inside of their Lego magazines too that kind of told some stories throughout space, or even the town sets and everything where there were actual characters. Whereas now, of course, we know everybody has a name. Clutch Powers, and I think Johnny Thunder was a big one back in the 90s, but a lot of the characters now do have names. Back then, you had no clue who they were unless you read the comics, which we didn't get here.
Well, and that's something else I'd like to bring up. So some of the, I'm going to go on to the next slide here. This is, again, you can see later because of the set number, 6180.
With pneumatic tubes.
With tubes, and this is called the the Hydro Search Sub.
This is my favorite one so far.
That's pretty neat.
And you can see, again, the green transparent pieces, although the diver guy still has the trans yellow green head. And what's the guy in the back with the flippers on? He looks like, is he one of the bad guys? The guy that has the chrome crystal there in the lower left?
Hold on, I'm trying to swipe out of the chat so I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
He's a crystal thief.
The chat's not going away. Go away, chat. Okay. Oh, so that guy there, he is he's one of the Stingrays from the Stingray faction. And he is, I don't think there's two guys that have names in the Stingray faction, but yeah, he's a bad guy. Apparently they're mutants.
Oh, very good. All right, underwater mutants. I am 100% here for that.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Now this one,
shampoo bottle says Maniac for Bricks.
Wow. So this is 6195. Again, a later one. This is the Neptune Discovery Lab, and this would have been. Now, what I notice about these ones, these later ones, I think the the Hydronauts ones, they kind of went for a more traditional color scheme with the yellow and black, and then added in the green, like the dark green trans pieces.
I think that that dark green and the yellow works pretty well together. But I think that the blue and the yellow really pops.
Yeah.
It's more fun and kind of sci-fi, I think.
And this one looks like it has an epic raised base plate. Like that is really cool.
So let's talk about that base plate.
Please do.
Talk about it.
Yay!
So as I was talking to you about earlier, is I'm working on this set right now, which I have about 89% of the pieces, so I'm pretty stoked for that. So you got two of them. One of them is a little chipped, but they go together.
Oh, it came with two?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So what's cool about that is this wasn't the first time that this base plate had been used. It was also used here.
Oh, just colored differently.
Yep.
Was that from a pirate set?
I don't think it was. I think it's from a somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be wrong, but I thought it was like a town set, like a mountaineering one. But it could also be maybe the Islanders. I don't remember.
You're making Monica Berry jealous over there.
Sorry, let me turn the chat back on so I can rub it in her face.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to I'm trying to download the photos that you sent me. Can you show that those two base plates again?
Sure. Yeah. So we have the blue and the green, and they do connect. Now, also, one of the other sets that I had actually used in one of our build challenges was the blue one. This one here.
The
moon, so it's just the moon base plate, just differently colored.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, but what's even better though is if you have actually line up.
Ooh, more interesting.
Oh, very cool.
So you can do a whole like circle of just the just this piece and then that, have 2 of each, which I have 2 of each, thankfully.
Well, now that one on the right is just a copy of the moon base plate, right?
With the
space. Oh, sorry. I was
processing.
I was processing.
Okay.
Apologies.
No, I think this is a lot more exciting than the completely undisguised burps that we saw in a previous one of the sets. Like the gray rock pieces were set there with almost no modifications at all.
So let's head back over to the slides. All right, I'm going to real quickly here.
Now, have you done your own mocks with those base plates? Oh, well, yeah, you did one for
just the one.
challenge.
But I've been debating because I really want to put that set that you have up right now like together. And like I said, I'm piecing it together, but I don't know. I kind of would like to do my own actual Aquazone, like couple builds.
Seems like you understand the, pardon the word, but vibe of it. Like you get Aquazone, so I bet you could make cool, original Aquazone pieces yourself.
Yeah, there were a lot of other pieces that were introduced in this theme too. So these here pieces, there are 4 different kinds of.
I've seen the angled ones before.
Yeah,
we have those in green as well.
Octagonal. His arm fell off. Sorry, arm.
Sorry, I'm going back through the slides. Reset themselves when I added the new pictures. Sorry about that. Okay.
But then they had these ones too, that are this way, that you can connect.
Oh,
to the
upside
bottom.
down.
Yep.
Oh, that's a cool piece.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we have that in green. That's a really cool.
I wonder what set it came out in green.
Oh, I feel like
I think
they're
it's the same
getting a combination of cleaner design and cleaner like box art as these develop.
So now this is 6160, the sea scorpion.
Yeah, that's one of the stingrays.
And this would become a theme. And this is what I was saying about this is what I was saying about Aqua Raiders having some stuff in common. A scorpion or lobster, it was called in a couple of them, shaped like vehicle.
Yep.
There were, I think, at least 3, if not more. I could be wrong about that. Scorpion tail whipping around.
Yeah.
You're meaning in the newer Aqua Raiders ones, the 2007 ones?
No, in the Aqua Raiders ones, there is 1. But then I think I just mean like across underwater themes. There ended up being like multiple, and one of them was called a lobster, and then this one is called a scorpion.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were just
and the big ship for this one was an actual stingray. It was huge.
Yeah, we're looking at we have the picture up right now. It's
sorry,
really cool. No problem.
I have a different picture right now.
Clearly
I'm lagging.
Yeah, I think this is the sea scorpion, right? It looks like it. It's got the big pinchers.
No, I said stingray.
Oh, stingray. Sorry, I was talking about scorpion. Yes.
That's okay. That's I was getting ahead of myself.
Well, it doesn't help that they're out of order, and I apologize for that. I was just kind of grabbing, cool looking stuff. So more chrome crystals in this one, and lots of that trans yellow green.
You know what's going on is this diver is swimming in one of your ears and out the other one, and it's very confusing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what's going on here. All right, so this is the Shark Crystal Cave.
Yeah, that one that comes with that cool moon base plate.
Okay, this is the yes, I can see it, and it's got one of those half green, half red plants in it.
Yeah, and it's by far one of the coolest ones.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. It has what they don't show you on there too. So you see the guy. Oh, sorry. You see the guy. What's his name? Thresher or whatever. He's riding a little ship. And when you open this up, well, I just ripped it off, but the ship is actually tucked away inside there.
Oh, it's like a little mini ship.
Cool.
That's awesome.
It's a little scooter.
What's this piece on the front that's holding the sort of grasping arm? There's a blue detailed piece there.
Hold on.
It's a front grasping arm.
It's those funny little hinges. Those little.
I see. Just like hinges. 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Those blue pieces are cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of, actually, there's quite a few more pieces that were introduced in this line. Like you've got the top fin here.
Oh, sorry. I'll go back to you
here.
here.
Oh, yeah.
than they eventually used for, you know, like in planes and stuff. And then you have these really cool. Let me go this way. So you can attach the fan on the inside, but they made it in yellow too. They have them for the Aquanauts. And this,
well, so they really went all in. Like they put all these new molds in the sets.
Yeah. And I think, you know, going back to what Jens was doing when he was creating Seatron is he was, you know, how a lot of the 80s space stuff had introduced a lot of new pieces, or at least pieces in new colors. I think that's what he was trying to do, is create new, you know, a whole new line to introduce new pieces so that it could be used, you know, throughout the rest of the themes.
It seems like it had a lot of opportunity for adventure play as well. Like the ships are super swooshable.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, like, not only does it look like it could be a spaceship, but like it definitely, you know, it obviously mimics the shark, and so it's like, oh, okay, now it's definitely underwater, you know, but it has that swooshability. All of the shark ones are definitely swooshable, and then the Aquanauts ones are more like you would see a submarine or a submersible or something.
Are you okay, Flynn? Chaos in
no.
the studio. It's
How
good.
That's like magic. Look at that water just pop back up.
Imagine. Everything's fine here.
Sorry about that. I had to go on a dive. I had to go on a diving expedition. Apologies.
Here, there you go.
Okay, I'm back. Diving expedition. All right. So
we were just talking about the swooshability of this aqua shark stuff. Like this one's like smaller. This is more on the price point, you know, about, I think this was like $15 or $20 when it came out, but it's still got that, you know, you can just zoom it along and it looks great.
And it just has, it's like a whole parallel universe to space. So they could reintroduce all the vehicles and villains and all that in, you know, and not affect space.
Yeah, and they still get to use those canopies that they had created for space. So they're still using existing pieces while, you know, like they normally do, introduce new ones. So
one, I don't know, I couldn't hear because I was underwater, but did you talk about I was interested in that this one kind of goes against type in that it's using the trans orange instead of the green or the blue.
Yeah, so I think when just the 2 years before, they had introduced the ice planet and they had the trans orange. So maybe that was just like, well, it's going to look good with the black and blue, which these black and blue colors, you know, that's what the original Space Police was. But when you, and the red was their canopies, but when you add that orange, man, it really pops on there.
It really does. It's a great color scheme for
super
sure.
Sci-fi and great. These would have been villains, right?
Yeah, these are these are definitely the bad guys. Here's the smallest one. Well, not smallest, but second smallest one. And this one's
love micro ships.
Oh, that one's awesome. How fun.
Because like the smallest one was this guy here, and he's got the great printed piece right on the front with the Aqua Shark logo.
Oh yeah.
And this is one of those old school 80s space pieces. Mtron used it a lot, and then Futuron used it a lot.
And then it's using snot pieces as decoration, like as just sort of holes on it.
Sorry, a harpoon flew off.
No problem.
I don't want the cats to get that.
No.
Do your cats eat Lego?
All the time. Without fail. I can guarantee you, if I get up right now, at the bottom of the stairs, there will be at least 3 Lego pieces that they have brought down.
Wow.
Whoa, that's crazy. Woo. All right.
They're awful.
Back to slides. All right.
Yeah, what's next?
Saboteur.
So next up, we have this one is massive. So this is the Stingray Stormer. We were talking about this one earlier. This one, like those stickers on the front. Now, it's funny. Like I'm intrigued by it. And it also has that kind of like, what else can we throw at this kind of a feeling to it, right? I mean, not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but it definitely has a kind of, you know, like, okay, just put more things on it. It needs another thing.
Oh, yeah. See, they have those pieces in gray. These cool pieces here, they have them in gray on the on there. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so it seems like part of the style of the theme is using those octagonal pieces and keeping things super sci-fi. I think the pneumatic tubes really add a lot.
Yeah, they look really cool.
So we've got.
Have you made anything with pneumatics? I haven't yet.
No, I never have. I had them in my kit for teaching at school. So this was our. So this is this is kind of our last Aquazone slide. But this was the accessory pack that you could get.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty sweet accessory pack, I gotta say. You got chrome darts, chrome knife, red and green plant, octopus, chrome crystal, and a shark, and the two guys, and two minifigs.
And you get the and that Aquanaut is the one with that clear blue, the trans blue headpiece.
Right.
Because the other ones just have black, so you even get that exclusive piece too.
That's so cool. And the black wetsuit with the yellow details there.
Yeah, man. And so also what you couldn't see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but Thresher actually has a trans neon green hook for a hand.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of see it in the picture, but yeah, that's great. Wow, I've never seen that in that color. But this is, I gotta say, like, if
pirates, space, everything all together.
I wish they offered more small sets like this, like this accessory. I mean, because even now when we get accessory packs, they're not like, this is a pretty epic accessory pack.
I agree. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was when you got those minifigure packs, you got 4 or 5 guys that were essential. Like, oh, cool, these are like little army builders that you could put. Even the city, or the town, had a couple of people that you could really use to build up your build up the cityscape or whatever. But this one here was, I think, one of the first ones that really utilized those new pieces and extra pieces where, all right, instead of 5 minifigures or 4 minifigures, we're going to give you 2, but we're also going to give you this really sweet octopus.
Yeah, I would be super excited to get this. Ages 5 to 10. That's it, though. And I know. Okay, so actually, this is a perfect sort of break point because it happens to be that special time of the show. Everybody, So Richard had to step away, so you can mark your bingo card off for that. But I'm gonna have to handle Logan on my own. So I will be right back. It is time for. It's Logan cookie time. Logan. Hi, buddy. And here he is. He's ready for action. He sees me opening the container. He's going to crawl onto the table to get it. There he is. Logan's underwater. Yes, he's a very good swimmer. It's true. Oh my goodness, I'm terrible at this. Here you go, buddy. There, I'm just going to stick him right in his mouth because apparently I can't aim. But and now he's on the floor. Come on, up here. Come on. Let's see everybody. Hi, one more over here. It is over here. There he is. And
oh man,
I'm the worst. That is on me. That's
my fault. It's my fault. I'm throwing off the juju today.
No, not at all. And the other thing too is usually he's on this side. So there was because Richard is here. It was all very confusing. But we are, and that was Logan cookie time. However, it's rude that it was. All right. So awesome. So that is going to bring us towards. We're going to go back to the slides here. Real quick. So this is. I didn't grab. This is the only Aqua Raiders one that I grabbed. But you can see that we are back to that like yellow and black.
Yep.
With the blue. It looks like blue transparent pieces. We've got a squid spider thing here.
Yeah.
This is actually called Aqua Raiders Aqua Base Invasion is the name of this one. So
what I like to think is, all right, so this one, there's clearly no antagonist other than the sea creatures, the octopi and the crabs and all that. Throughout this entire line, it's all animals that they're fighting or, defending whatever from.
Right.
I imagine that the animals are pretty mad because they're the ones invading, they're the ones that, I mean, I guess the name is apt. They are Aqua Raiders. They are raiding the water and getting whatever they're getting. But I like to think of this as kind of a precursor to the Aquanauts and Aqua Sharks because at this point, they're kind of fighting the animals and trying to get rid of them. And
Got
then
it. So
later
this is a
on,
prequel. Got it.
that, in my head, you know, so then later on, that's when Thresher's like, oh, these guys are a bunch of jerks and they're killing all these animals. Well, we're going to, you know, pay homage to these animals that you guys have murdered. And all of our stuff is going to be sharks.
Oh, I love this. Maniac for Bricks says, according to stories, the chrome crystals from aquanauts contained hydrogen to help the divers breathe. Because, of course, there had to be a reason.
Yeah, they're hydro something. They have an actual name, the crystals do.
Yes.
What I wanted to mention earlier too, of course, I think Richard would find this interesting, but a lot of the themes in the 80s and 90s, especially when it came to space, everything had like there was a legit, you know, reason for them existing.
Right.
You know, Mtron, they were using magnetron. You know, they were using magnets, and they were using the magnets to, you know, to go from planet to planet to get things. And then you had Ice Planet. They were getting the, I can't remember what it's called, but they were getting whatever to power their rockets. All that trans neon orange stuff was like to help power their rockets and their tools and everything. And they were trying to get it for the rest of the, you know, of the galaxy. And of course, Blacktron were the bad guys, and they came in to steal it from them or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, but there's an overall arching theme, I think, with now these guys are mining crystals, and then Rock Raiders are, you know, there's always like a goal.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, I think that's funny. That kind of a little bit like bleeds into like current stories. So like with the creator sets, the modulars. There's the oh my goodness, the detective agency, and there's like a whole like sub story about like illegal cookie market, and like there's like a secret area where the cookies get moved out, and I guess in one of the more recent modulars there's another sort of similar like food heist thing going on.
Okay.
They come back around to these plot points a lot. I see they that I've noticed. They revisit a lot of that. So speaking of revisiting, so this Aqua Raiders really only lasted a year, I think.
This was just one. It was like maybe 8 sets, maybe 7.
Yeah, I think there were 7 total sets. Yep. Yeah. Now we get to this is like my personal like favorite of all of these, and that is Atlantis. I am a huge fan of this theme. Now the funny thing is, I know, right?
I'm mad at myself because I got that set on clearance for $35, 2 of them, and then I sold them, and I should have just kept them.
How could you?
I know.
Could you? Oh my goodness!
In hindsight, if I could, I would kick my own butt because it's a beautiful set and the pieces in it are just amazing.
So this one is oh sorry, I got my things here. So this one is called just City of Atlantis, and this is one of the bigger sets. There were multiple large sets in this one. Now, this premiered in 2010 and was gone by the end of 2011. So just a 2-year theme. It had 19 sets, 4 polybags, and then it had they sold a 4-in-1 pack where you could get like 4 of the sets all together in one. Now, the reason that I love this one is because it has the most outrageous villains, and it really is the kind of more where it's funny where I think the Aquazone was much more like, you know, like you were talking about earlier, like a spin-off from space. Like this was like solidly in like undersea fantasy territory. Yeah, which we haven't really hit before or since, actually.
No.
But I mean, maybe Little Mermaid accepted, but you know that's Disney, so I don't really count that one. But you know, it's interesting. Now this one is a beautiful set, and this was also. Now we have characters with names. Yeah. All right. And even though, because I have actually some of the figures here, even though the characters all look exactly the same except for a different face for the most part. So it's kind of, you know, like yes, they have names, but they're pretty essentially the same characters with a different head. But they did have. Let me go back to the slides here. They did have So there was Captain Ace Speedman, marine biologist Dr. Jeff Fisher, First Mate Lance Spears.
Wow.
There's just so much going on there. Tech expert Axel Storm, and apprentice Bobby Bowie. And that, yeah.
Oh, wow. Really?
And then, yes. And then Bobby Bowie. And they included a female member of the team, Professor Sam Rhodes. Now, the thing that was really weird is apparently she was not initially part of the team and somehow managed to, like, through intrigue, get herself on board and trick them into finding Atlantis with her. I don't know how it all worked because I didn't watch apparently there was, like a show. But I find that interesting that, like, they've sort of, like, relegated the female character to having to, like, sneak in to be part of the team. But that was our list of characters. And then we had the villains, and that's what I was kind of talking about before. Uh-oh, we've lost Adam. Oh, there he is.
Sorry.
We've lost Adam. Oh, there he is. Oh, I'm hearing your audio.
Yeah, it cut out for like a couple of seconds there, and I was like, okay, what's he talking about? Let me make sure I could get back. Sorry.
No problem. Okay, so here we go. Now, this was another of the really large sets. This is the Atlantis Exploration HQ.
Yeah, that one's super cool.
Well, and so I feel like these are, and this is, anything I'm saying here, I'm not like knocking Aquazone at all, but you can definitely tell that the builds between 1995 and 2010 became more sophisticated.
Right.
More sophisticated color palettes, more sophisticated, sleeker builds. There's not so much of this, like, what else can we throw at the ship?
Right. Yeah. And like you were saying, with like the Stingrays, you're right. It was, okay, we have a baseline of a design that we want, but what other crap can we cobble together just to throw it on there, to make it look, I mean, they are mutants, so it kind of makes sense that, they're trying to just piece things together, but it can still look a little pretty. I mean, it was a mess.
Right. Well, it just didn't seem as well thought out as, like, say, like something like this.
Yeah. This set here is really cool because that top piece that you see hanging up or lifted up, that folds down and then the sides fold in, so it creates
it's all one unit. That's so great. And you can see we got Technic pieces there holding the base together. Yep. And there are these awesome. Oh no, I don't have one here. But they, you can see the guys holding that little ring that has the triangle in the center of it. Those are really cool pieces for a multitude of reasons.
I think I still have that manta ray head guy, actually. The blue guy.
I have him right here.
Yeah, he's a great figure.
This is a fantastic fig. I really like this one a lot. It's got, let's see if I can get him to focus. There we go. So he's got this really great thing, a really great head, and then I have a second one that's missing his head.
Oh no!
But yeah, there's a I do have that. This is really great. Really great villain character, and I love the gold trident. Of course, is great.
Yeah.
And then you get your two raiders and all those bubbles, those like trans yellow green bubbles. So really cool.
Us fans of the Emitron community were very happy about those.
I'm sure. Very good. All right. So and here's what I was talking about before. This is following in the tradition. This is the Deep Sea Striker, and it is another like scorpion, like lobster-esque.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about this is these, and you'll see this in a bunch of the sets here, but these stickers with these kind of techno runes on them, almost.
Yeah.
That were really interesting, and you can see we're getting back to that black and orange color palette here.
Right. It's all interconnected in some way. I think, some of the things are a little throwback and a nod, but I think definitely these things were controlled by those creatures these guys are fighting.
Right. And then I noticed that you too on the tail you can see that We don't get pointy pieces very much in Lego, and these are those ones that are plastic on the end and then have a rubber tip on them.
Yeah, and those are the ones that are like the tops for the new Hogwarts sets, right? Like that go into the cones.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Is that what that is?
That's it's about like this big, and it's hard plastic on the end. You can see it on the tail.
Oh, okay.
This like the little stingers,
Yeah.
and then the end is like pointy but rubbery. So we ended up using that for the top of the Transamerica Tower in a San Francisco thing that we did.
Oh, nice.
Because we had one that was like I think light and dark gray rather than like a crazy color.
Okay.
But hey, Blair Archer is here. How's it going, Blair? Good to see you.
Hey, Blair. He's kind of my neighbor.
It's true. All right, so moving along. Now this one is called the the Seabed Strider, and it's sort of a mech. No, it's a mech, right? Because you can see the little control thing on the back of it there. And you got this great, the Atlantis symbol, which I love, is a gold circle with a triangle inside with a trident in the middle. And this really great hammerhead shark guy who is, when you see him, and here I've got him right here. I have my little collection of Atlantis guys here. When you see him, he's notable because not only has he got this great face, but look at this terrifying head that's inside.
Every time I see that minifigure in my collection, I'm like,
Yeah, it is really disturbing. It's so cool. I really love it.
That set right there is one of those lower price point sets where you get two great figures and a cool little vehicle. I had 4 of them, and I believe that guy that's in that set is the only one with the yellow visor. I think all the other ones have those.
Oh, they have green, and there is a yellowy orange guy too. It looks like that I have here, unless I have it mixed up from something else. But I've got this guy who's got a sort of yellowy orange.
That's from a collectible minifigure series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, look
his
at you.
His helmet. Yeah.
Oh, his helmet. All right, I just had it. I have no idea. All right.
Hey, he fits in though.
He's part of the team. He's part of the team. Okay, so this was a great one, and here's another kind of a bigger mech this time. Now I pulled this one because I love that sea creature. Is so cool.
Yeah.
And it utilizes those really cool Technic connectors with the little curved spike on the end of them.
Yep.
It's a really great little build. I like the and actually I want you to notice too, on the side legs of that is that funny plastic tire piece. Like running up the sides of the legs, and they use
the mech,
they used that piece a lot in Aquazone sets. In I believe in black.
They have the big one on this one here. The medium-sized one. Right.
So that was like again, it's interesting to see these same types of pieces that you wouldn't normally think of. So I know that when they were making these, they were talking about, okay, what are the things we have to have? And one of the developers talked about we have to have propellers, air tanks, squids. Like they had a little
right,
like a little
they
list
had a
of
powwow
things.
going. All right, there's an actual list of items that would fit undersea, but what can we also throw back to other sets? And hey, what do we have currently that we can still use?
Right. Well, and it's interesting that I love that these sets are tangentially related in that way.
Yeah.
Right. Like they have
yeah,
that.
for sure.
And you can see that also on the arm, there is that shooter that has the rubber, like the little rubber thing on the end of it, man. That thing is dangerous.
That little picture in the corner.
I know, that is what that was meant for. Hey, Maraid's here. How's it going?
Hey, Maraid.
Good to see you. But yeah, so still, best minifig head ever. This terrifying trans red with the teeth is too good. But yeah, I love that little sea creature in that. Sorry, I just thought of that again while I was looking at it, how awesome it was. Okay.
Well, this one also folded up too, didn't it? Became an actual vehicle?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Now this one, I am enamored of this. This would be one,
Yeah.
like, if I could have any of the Atlantis sets, I'd want the Atlantis Temple and this one. I love...
Do you want it? Because I have it.
Oh, stop. We'll talk later about that. But I love this anglerfish model. Is fantastic, and I think really is will kind of show the how sculptural they will get in the future.
Right, and I guess I like, because that guy has the yellow helmet too. But one of the cool things which you can't see in the picture is his jaw actually like snaps.
Oh, the ship does?
The fish.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so cool.
We're still on the same picture, right?
Yeah, yes, okay. We are. And I actually have... What happened to him? I thought I had that guy right here. So that minifig, that green guy, is another like terrifying, amazing minifig. And
this is the one that gave us like this series gave us I think the best different like creatures.
Yes.
Out of almost any series, even the collectible minifigure series. These are so detailed for no reason.
Right.
Like, Lego didn't have to go that hard on bad guys, but they did.
I know, and they really did. And for a 2-year theme, they went through a bunch of really interesting ones. And I also want you to notice one of, in my opinion, the best Lego helmet that exists is that one that is inside the treasure chest. You can see it peeking out, and I happen to have it right here. I have, let me see if I'll be able to get it in focus, but I have it right here.
It's gorgeous. I believe mine is still in its bag.
It is so cool. I love this helmet. And it would eventually go on to be and get used in one of the bigger sets that we'll look at the end, which is the portal to Atlantis. And this is sort of like the guy who guards the portal to Atlantis' helmet. But it really is the best helmet in
it's
my
a great
personal
piece.
opinion.
I mean, it should be used a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. We need more of this. I mean, the closest they got was the helmets for the guys in the Aquaman sets from the movie. Like, right. Still not as cool as this.
And I feel like there's like a Lord of the Rings one too that kind of has something similar to that shape.
Yeah. It's the teeth is what it is. I mean, like the fin and then the teeth in the front. Like, so cool. All right. This one is, again, I'm terrified of all things tentacles, but this one is great. It comes with not only one, but three tentacled creatures if you count the minifig. So we have the ship squid, and then we have the white squid that's like kind of hanging off like something off the side there. And then we get what is arguably the best of all of the minifigures in this series, of all of them.
I would agree.
And again, I've got my version of it here, and that is this Squid Warrior guy, and he is so incredibly cool. And I'm gonna try and get you. I'll try and get you focused in again on this guy. But check out that.
Oh yeah.
Like, really, really cool. The body, all of it, the dark red color. Yeah, like everything about this is awesome.
And if you notice in the front two little loops, if you really wanted to, you could actually put like Technic pins in there to give him some sort of weaponry if you would like.
That's awesome. But yeah, this is a fantastically molded head. Really detailed.
And the paint on the side, as the little suckers.
Yep. Just really, really, really clever. So, I love that minifig. It is my favorite. If I had to like pick like a favorite minifig from Atlantis, that would definitely be it. It's like right up there, and it's honestly right up there with me for the Medusa minifig as like a favorite minifig. It's really
it's a gorgeous figure.
It really is. Okay. So, hi, you got controls in front of your face. Sorry about that. I
think this set too it's very simple, but that set alone tells a really good story of of what it needs to do, and like, all right, they know that they have to get through this portal to do whatever, but just the set alone it's a gorgeous set.
Well, and I love and it comes with those gold gate pieces, which are really nice. It's just a lot of really good pieces here.
Yeah.
And that black, those two black tentacles that are really long ones that have the holes in them. Yeah. I have some of those in green, and I used them in my lotus flower, like water lily flower that I did in green, and it's so good. It's so good. Hey, Christopher Coster's here. How's it going? Awesome. Okay. So here's a little more. I added this one in because it was a close-up. This was actually one of the poly bags you could get with just this guy in it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give you a closer up. He's got a really cool head as well. That looks
that's the manta ray guy.
Yeah, and it looks really disturbing without the head on it. It's just a really, really cool one, though. I like this one a lot. Okay, and then finally, this is the big one. This was like this was called the Portal to Atlantis. And it came with a squid guy, a shark guy, and I also have him here too.
The shark guy's cool.
Yeah, shark guy. Definitely not as like cutesy as the eventual shark guy that came with it. I love the giant fanged shark statues on either side.
It's one of those first instances where you're getting that brick built shark instead of just this guy hanging out on top of something,
Yeah. Well, and it really looks like it reminiscent of the eventual Lego piece that they would come up with of the little fish that has the tail up. Yeah. Like it's a classic look, right? This is great, and I want you to notice something. Check out that portal in the back, and you can see that there's those little keys, right, to Atlantis, or those little rings that are like all around. And you can see, if you look really close up there on the top, you can see the portal guard that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And I have him here. Now, I don't have his head, which is why his helmet wasn't on, but he also has really amazing armor in that same kind of mottled gold black color that you don't, and I've never seen it used again. I mean, I could be wrong, but I have not seen it.
I'm pretty sure that's exclusive to that set.
But it's got really great armor. Sorry, he's sand green, so he's kind of falling into the background. But really cool. And I want to know what the head is. I've looked all over, and I cannot find a picture of the figure without the helmet on. He's always got the helmet on.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, help Flynn out now.
I know, it secretly makes me wish it's the transparent red one with the giant teeth, just because it would look so awesome, right? Like, I might as well just put that on there. But so that is... There we go. Back to this again. More of those gold gates. I really love the sort of fanged mouth in front of the steps. Yeah. And we get dark red step pieces, which is nice.
Right.
And I really and that actually the fanged mouth over the portal, or over the steps, makes me think of the Hidden Side sets.
Yeah,
right? It's kind of got a Hidden Side vibe to it, or I should say, Hidden Side has a vibe of this to it. This one, I think, and the three largest sets. So this one, the Atlantis one that we looked at first, like the Sunken Temple, and then the Atlantis Exploration HQ with that folds into a sub, are really like the three, like the biggest and most elaborate of all of these. But this is really such a fantastic set. Oh, and what I mentioned, started mentioning and didn't finish my thought, was that portal design would end up being reused in, any guesses? Lego Dimensions. So if you take a look at the that portal in the back, that is exactly like the Lego Dimensions portal that you create on the little base where you put your figures. So bye, Moto. We'll see you later. But I really I dig this, and they would actually end up using that same one again in an Elves set. So that same design for that portal, and those little teeth kind of like open up, so like a portal. Like if you push on one, they kind of all open up. So Really, really nice. I am a big fan of this set, and I also really like the combination of the black and the gold and the dark gray. It just kind of makes and then that nice splash of color with the dark red. So,
yeah, that gold really pops on there. But then, like, your eye is definitely focused that they're using that blue the portal, like just coming right in.
Yep. So these are really great sets. So that covers our Aquazone and Atlantis portion, and I did manage to get the photos that you sent me. I will probably have to resize them, so sorry. Here it is, the thing everybody's been talking about. This is okay. I'm not going to say what this is. You tell me about this. You tell us about this, Adam.
There's kind of two separate themes. This was kind of the first one that they were going to introduce that monorail into. The other two that you have are kind of those two are connected, but this one is kind of outer connected. It's like a satellite of that.
Okay.
Lego really wanted to go hard with the monorail theme, and after they had done it in the city for the airport monorail, and then the first the Futuron one, it didn't really work out so well for them, so they kind of pushed that aside. But this one here was their first idea of what the underwater theme would be. So we're gonna have an underwater monorail. And you can see that obviously I can't point to it because there's nothing here.
That's okay. That's okay.
So what you would see is you have the little docking port there where the white ship with that red canopy is backing in, probably either to pick up supplies or something. And then you have the yellow, which obviously got repurposed for Aquazone, using that yellow color. What you can't see, I mean, I don't know if I can see it, but on that side of that monorail, it doesn't say Aquazone, it says Aqualock.
Yes, I saw that. I was trying to read what that said. Aqualock,
it's very interesting. And I'm wondering if maybe that front piece there, disconnects, and it's supposed to be like, like an actual, like a regular train, like a freight train, where it picks up other ones, and backs into other pieces or whatever.
Well, I love the design of the cars. It's just the
cars are really cool. So the base there that's leading up to it, it kind of looks like an Explorian set, and it also looks like a Futuron set. How it's just angled out, and a couple other ones too. But the most interesting thing I think out of this entire one is the legs holding up the base. Not of the monorail, but because those are just regular stanchions that they've always had, but just those weird construction-like legs.
Right, they look kind of like the enlarger version of, because there's one of those that's like a 2x2 column that has those little crossbars, and this looks like the hefty version of that. That's a beefy boy right there. That's... like a 4x4, I want to say, maybe, or a 3x3 even. I could be wrong, but it looks larger. It's a really and I would say my favorite part is those red domes. Those red trans domes are just gorgeous.
Yeah, and that's sadly one of those colors in that piece that we did not get.
I know.
We got blue, we got orange, we got what else did we get? Oh, yellow, but we didn't get red.
I know, and then I think I mentioned this earlier, but I just really love the design of the cars, like that. That front, the front two side bubble windows and those little kind of the rings. It's a nice design. It's a really a shame that this did not have that this didn't happen.
No, and one of the other things too I really liked is in the Futuron sets and everything were mainly that white with the blue canopies. But man, that white with the red that's happening.
It's striking.
That is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a look at another one. This one's a little bit crunchier, so sorry for the crunchy photo, but
the photo qualities were from old toy ads, for like toy fairs and everything. Here's products that are potentially going to happen, and it's a little grainy.
It's a little crunchy, but you can still see. You can still see the the trans green and the black.
Yeah, and look, and you see that.
I was just gonna say the back, the back, and it looks like different. Now it may just be the photo, but it looks like a more like aqua blue-green color scheme than the blue one that you have.
Right. Yeah, I think it's definitely that just that sand green before we got sand green, you know?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. I love looking at this big.
So there's also a couple of pieces here too that did not show up until the UFO sets in 1997. On the base plate, there's that ship, and it's got that neon, the trans neon green piece where it's that, you know, that UFO shape.
Oh, the quarter,
yeah,
like the quarter dome that's like a low dome.
Yeah,
right?
and that's that color. But the ship that's just below it has that quarter piece too, but it's green, just a flat green.
And this is called Sea People.
Yeah, this is the Sea People.
Somebody thought really hard about that.
Well, you know, they had to have something to show,
right?
You see like two different animals aside from the shark. You see some weird hammerhead alligator creature. Yeah, and then farther back. Well, obviously farther back, you can see a giant stingray that was obviously remade for the Raiders or the stingrays.
Yeah, it's
at least that shape.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And it looks like that's an anglerfish, the one that has that quarter dome round thing that we were talking about. So again, like things that you will see eventually come up later. Yeah, you know, and kind of get redone and reworked over the years, right?
Yeah, there's some of these pieces here were definitely repurposed later on for space, and then on that ship that's kind of in the foreground in the middle, has got some pieces from like Explorians, like their wing pieces, and then it has those rounded pieces at the end that you would later see, you know, like in airplanes and everything. There's just that round Technic piece,
right?
That you could put a propeller in and everything.
So now, okay, so tell me though, what like around what year was this? So this was prior to Aquazone.
Oh yeah, this is about 87.
Oh, okay, that's right. You were talking about that before. 87. Yeah. Wow. Well, I gotta say, for 87. These are much more sophisticated builds than what was going on at the time.
Definitely more sophisticated than the Stingray.
Right. Well, throw it on. But I'm very curious if that wasn't a reason that it didn't end up going through. Only like maybe they felt that it was too advanced. You know what I mean? Like too advanced style models. I don't know.
It's possible. What I was reading, I had this great article that I'll send to you too. It's a great article about Jins, who was doing all this stuff. Right. At the same time, when he was working on this, he was also trying to introduce actual alien minifigures. And so I think that maybe, you know, he was getting too big. You know, his ideas were too big for what Lego wanted to do at the time. They were trying to keep it simple and not trying to complicate things anymore. So some of this definitely seems a little more advanced for those 80s kind of regular space Legos, you know.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what I'm noticing, and Maniac for Bricks just brought this up. It looks like they would have had a new mold for a hammerhead shark that's lime green in the foreground, kind of.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, but I think it has legs. I think it's some kind of legged hammerhead creature. I don't know what it is. Welcome back, Richard.
Well, hi, good to be back.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was sorry I had to go away for a few minutes.
Well, so it looks like that there's also a black one right in the very center.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what it kind of looks like.
I know. It's so, you know, it's so old and grainy, but like the middle one, I think is maybe like a black shark, but then the far one might be another kind of, I don't know. It's so grainy.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to see, but I mean, you can see enough, right? Like I think this is fascinating. Like how really cool. And thank you so much for sending these, and we were able to show them. Wow. And then we still got one more. Wow.
Oh, there's that lavender color you're talking about.
Yeah, this is just so wow. I am blown away by this color palette. I gotta say, first thing, this is just crazy. Oh, Maniac for Bricks just posted that article you were talking about.
Cool.
About the aliens. There you go.
Cool.
So this looks like, and Blair just said it. Yes, sand purple. This looks like that series of sand, you know, green, purple, whatever, reds that they did. Because, okay, so tell us about this.
Well, so they were definitely thinking pastels in the 80s. and we didn't get it for a long time.
Right.
Those primary colors were very important to them, probably because it was easier and cheaper, and just to stick with that. But yeah, this one was a kind of a mixture between what they were going to do with space and or the Seatron thing, and they kind of like came together of, all right, well, which series are we going to use this for? So this was just another prototype, but you can see that obviously the one that's up, that's raised up, is definitely a space vehicle. That's not for the water. But the other two, you have those really cool, those lavender pieces are almost like like hovercrafts, or the, what are they called? Like the helicarrier, with the big propellers.
Exactly.
And sadly, we don't have that piece still.
I know, that looks like a single piece, like one with a little...
Like a plate with a hexagon on it.
And as Blair pointed out, the black quarter dome in the background, on the back of the ship. So the big egg dome.
The black
piece.
one, yep.
Why?
I mean, these are so cool. And I mean, other than those like helicarrier type pieces, they're pretty easy to recreate with existing pieces, just not in the same color. So if you really wanted to do it, you probably could just by zooming in as hard as you possibly could.
I like the white details on this too. Like they pop it up, they give it a little punctuation or something.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like one of those things with that odd color out where they have that main one, like Mtron was black and red and that green. But then they had just a little bit of gray in there, right, just to kind of differentiate, of where certain pieces are on the build. And the same with this here, they were using a little bit of that white to kind of show you, the white and that pasta, that purple is just, oh man.
Well, that highlight helps it not to be muddy at all, especially if you're going to use it on dark backgrounds.
Right.
Well, and this is, and I gotta say, and I agree, it is disappointing in that this seems to be a huge leap forward in building styles from what was offered at that time.
Yeah, this is definitely ambitious.
I mean, it's wow, what a shame. So go and vote for Seatron for the 90th anniversary set. Quickly go change your vote from whatever you picked, hopefully not Bionicles, and put up the and put in Seatron.
But I voted for Galador.
I won't lie. I'd much rather have Galador than Bionicle, but that's just me.
Oh yeah. So apparently, I was gonna. So I've here. I'm gonna put us back up here. So I was gonna be on the Brick TV cast yesterday, and I was talking to Bricks O'Brien ahead of time. I was like, okay, and we can, because he and I usually have a WandaVision discussion on the show, and he's like, I'm just warning you that it's like a Bionicle showdown and you may want to stay out of the line of fire. I was like, okay, I'm fine. I can sit this one out. Yeah. So apparently they went hard on Bionicle.
I have better things to do than make myself angry all day.
See, I'm just a troublemaker, though. I would have to go to my drawer of... Okay, I cleared out the drawer of Bionicles, and I did put it on an upper shelf in the hallway, so there's that. But I could pull them out at any minute.
Because there was that, like, 20 minutes where you thought you were into Bionicle, right?
Well, I had this idea that I wanted to make an articulated figure that was controlled by EV3, but the Bionicle's joints are too friction-full to really do that well. And I tried like greasing them and doing all this stuff, and I was like, and I just cast them aside.
Yeah. So
but they're there.
But they occupied a prominent drawer for a long time, and they finally made room.
I made
for other
one
stuff.
cool figure, and I worked on it really hard, and it's time for another experiment now.
Well, I think that happens sometimes, right? Like when you get into a hobby that's as spread wide as this, with like all the different themes, like there's gonna be one where you're like, oh, I'm super into this, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm not so much into this.
Duplo stuck. We got Duplo, and I use that regularly.
Duplo's amazing.
I was really into Duplo when my son was 3. And then And then like when I learned that you could use Duplo to build up your stuff, I had already gotten rid of all the Duplo stuff. I was like, oh, no.
I tell you what, though, don't mistakenly get Quattro. We got a bag of Quattro, which is twice as big as Duplo.
It doesn't work. Well, I didn't know what I was doing. Like at the time,
you could go to Duplo and then to System, but by then your model is so big.
I know it's like 50-foot tall model.
Yeah.
But yeah, the using, you know, I mean, as we know, well, maybe not everybody knows, but you can definitely use Duplo as a like you were saying, Adam, a base for building up something. If you need something really tall and you don't want to use up all your bricks, it's a great way to build up. And I
had no idea about that until it was too late.
Oh, I think we'll be utilizing it in our next build for sure.
But I bet you've made up for it with System bricks.
Sorta. There's one thing that I wanted to show. One of the Aquanaut sets.
Absolutely.
This one is kind of like their flagship piece here. Let me go this way. There we go.
Oh, okay.
So it utilizes the blue and the orange on these pieces, but like it introduced this new piece here.
Such a good piece.
New bottom piece.
And it's got those same little.
Oh, what? It clamshells with two of them?
Yeah.
Oh, that is lovely.
Yeah. And then these printed pieces on the side they're so pretty. And then they open up to whatever it's supposed to go in there. I don't know what's supposed to go in there.
Well, this is so much more.
This thing's supposed to go in there.
We saw a picture of this. That's right. So yeah, is that a trans orange crate?
The box, yeah, it is. Yep.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think we might have one of those.
This is another theme that would really lend itself to blacklight too.
Yes.
Definitely. Oh yeah. I think they do. I know that. So Blair, he's in the chat. Blair has his whole like M-Tron and Blacktron. He's got like his wearable stuff. Like I want to see Blair. I'm challenging you to come up with a C-Tron wearable. You can make it up however you got to do it, but I need to see this.
Now, does that mean that he has to walk around the convention in flippers?
Yes, 100%. I will 3D print you some Lego minifigs flippers.
Slippers?
Wear slippers.
Yeah, let's get these guys going on. I gotta see it.
They're great.
You know what? I gotta say that flipper piece has found new life lately. Like they've used it in so many things. One of the things that I really loved I got to tell you, was when I was putting together the Diagon Alley, there is these little mini dragon decorations that they use on one of the buildings, like little gargoyle dragons, and the fins are the wings. And it's such a clever little construction. It's only like 5 or 6 pieces. Really good.
And you wouldn't, like there's obviously things that you could do with that piece. It could be wings or whatever, but it's kind of one of those forgettable pieces where, when you're thinking of, I want to do something and I don't have, I have this.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like how many do I have? Can I actually utilize it? And, back in the 90s, they only made the 2 colors.
Right.
It was the black and blue. Then they eventually got red. That was the next one, but it's a great piece for just accents and everything. Even even in like medieval stuff, if you want to accent a wall or something, some kind of adornment. It's a good piece.
I could see covering an entire bird or fish with those too.
Oh yeah,
that would make really great pieces. I love finding little weird uses for that. Handcuffs is one of those pieces for me.
Yep.
Like I've used handcuffs as a detail in architecture a bunch of times.
Especially when you go, right side up, upside down, in a row.
Yeah, you get that lovely curve.
You can do almost any little noodly piece, like above a door or below a cornice on a building, like all those, like where it just turns into plaster work.
So on my Twitch stream on Monday. I started hanging on. I can't go. I'd have to go for another deep sea dive. But we started putting. I started putting together the medieval blacksmith. What a delightful build, you guys!
Stop it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have it still not come yet? I'm sorry.
It came 2 minutes before we started this.
Oh, yay! Well, then that's exciting. You'll be able to catch up, and then you can watch the show again.
Your cat has probably only eaten half of it so far.
But I gotta say, it is a delightful build. It is so much fun. You're gonna love it. Like the color palette, the build, like the build techniques. It's surprisingly, and I mentioned this many times on my show on Monday. I think the photos did not do it justice in any way.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I think it was like an okay photo, but the angle that they showed it from and just doesn't show off the uniqueness of it. Like, and the greebling is really well done. It's definitely, it was worth the wait. You're gonna love it for sure.
Did you? So are you gonna change the shield tiles to be all one, or are you gonna keep the moss on top?
Oh, I'm gonna keep it as is.
I'm going to as well. I mean, I think it's just pretty. It's just a pretty looking build altogether.
Well, and again, something I've mentioned a million times, but it's only because I love when artists have a sort of a thread that you can see through their work. And Wes Talbot, who we had on the show, worked on elves. He's worked some on Harry Potter, and he plays Dungeons and Dragons, and he did the redesign of that set. And you can 100% see the thread of his style. In that.
Yeah, and obviously I like what Lego does is they have their employees work to their strengths.
Yes.
But they still challenge them, but they want them to go, all right, you like medieval or fantasy or castle? All right, go over here. You like space and what, go over here. You like architecture, go over here. Which is great because you don't want to like have miserable employees freaking out about, oh, how am I going to build this thing?
Right, right. I know. I'm used to doing Chima and now I'm on Friends. What's happening?
Well, like that was a cool thing, like with Jamie Berard being a fan, like he just loves architecture and he's, scaled the highest heights at Lego in architecture. Like he just loves that theme.
So I'm interested, Adam, on your thoughts here. What do you think? Now, I'm not going to say what do you think will win the 90th anniversary vote, but I want to know what you're hoping will win out of the 4 themes that made it, which are Bionicle, Space, Pirates, and Castle.
Yeah. Well, being a fan of all but Bionicle,
you hope it's Bionicle, yes.
I need it desperately to be Bionicle. Honestly, I'd be happy with it. No, I would say Pirates would be 3rd.
Okay.
But for me, it's a tie between Space and Castle. And considering they just did the blacksmith shop, I'm pretty sure Space is going to win.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure Space is going to win. We've been clamoring both for Castle and Space for so long, us hardcore old school fans.
Yeah.
Now I'm not a complainer about it. I'm not, because I've been getting the creator Space sets, the new ones, and I think they're cool. And I can still play with mine from the 80s. I'm fine with that. But I think it's time for a really cool throwback Space set.
Well, I will. Now, personally, I'm pulling for Castle. That's just me. But I gotta say, and it's interesting, and it's something that I meant to bring up with what we were talking about today. And you actually brought this up when we were chatting earlier, that Atlantis really was the end of like the fantasy underwater sequences.
Yeah.
Not that you would necessarily consider Aquazone fantasy, but it did have its like sci-fi element, like weird. And now what we have is a lot of very realistic underwater sets.
Well, I know what theme you want to see.
Underwater exploration.
Post elves, I know what theme you want to see.
What?
Mermaids.
Yeah, mermaids is my post elves. I want to see mermaids, but yeah.
What I wanted to comment too about this was how fluid, from seeing all those prototypes and from the beginning of Aquazone all the way to Atlantis, how fluid really Lego is with their builds and with their sets, where you can actually, if you look at this one kind of sub theme, how they have evolved in their ideas and where they kind of wanted to go, but still keeping those roots, as what evolution is. I mean, you still have those little roots, and then you go off into it.
Well, it's funny because we, when we did our first history show, which was the Christmas Village, or the Christmas Village, noticing again those threads, like there's always a lamppost, there's always a cat until it turned into a dog, but there's always an animal, and you do see, and over the years they keep those threads. And even though that is one theme, and like these are multiple themes when you're talking about Aquazone, Aqua Raiders, and Atlantis, they still have those threads, like the scorpion / lobster thing.
Right.
Well, and translucent pieces in sci-fi colors, not realistic colors with those at all. Those fans, which they made more and more sci-fi, like the different propulsion methods, and those hoses, it just seemed like they really crystallized their style and distilled it down and got rid of the extra, like, this feels like stuff piled on effect.
At the time when these were coming out, Lego had introduced that Divers series, and they had some great new pieces. They had the first bubble dome piece in those sets. And I think that they were going for that underwater thing, but from Divers, it was a long time before you saw an actual, regular underwater theme.
Right.
Of like how they have now with the National Geographic sets and everything. I mean, and of course, diving things have become pretty popular over the years under the city theme. But it was a long time before, they had from like 1995, 96 until the 2000s, right? For there was another underwater exploration. But you've got from 94 or 95 to 99, all this fantasy sci-fi space stuff or underwater stuff. And then in 2007, they revisit again. And then 2010 with, Atlantis. So they like to keep that. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to keep it grounded in reality, which is, it would kind of go hand in hand.
Well, now they're partnering with National Geographic, so it's all like way more STEM and science oriented.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, and awesome. I love that they brought that into the Friends sets.
But I would love to see a straight up underwater fantasy theme again. I just think that would be so fun. I really think that, Atlantis is kind of the pinnacle of that. Again, those like amazing villain characters and all of it.
Yeah, Aquazone was like the catalyst, and then and then Atlantis is the acme. Like that's where you
right.
If you don't give us mermaids and banshees the next time, don't even bother. Stay away.
See, I want them to take Atlantis and go as far with it as they have with Ninjago. Can you imagine like crazy, awesome, intense underwater builds?
Right. Well, when Flynn, when you had the slideshow up and everything, you see that they were building two different underwater cities of, here are the heroes with all of their mechs and everything that they're constantly changing so that they can traverse this underwater terrain. But then there's also the Atlantis portion. I want to see more of the Atlantis portion. Give us some of that.
Yeah, like that again. That like, I mean, I have a total thing for Greek architecture, but that whole like Atlantis with the columns and all of it was just like with the seaweed. It's just so good.
Yes. So we need more coral, right?
Yes. We absolutely do need more coral. Who doesn't need? I was actually trying to find the picture. I can't find it. Anyway, that was terrible. It was a good try. All right. So before we wrap it up, I want to find out, Mr. Aquazone, what is your favorite of all of the Aquazone sets?
Oh man, it's a tie, but I'm gonna go with this bad boy right here. This is like, I don't know. This one, look. This is why it's a tie, because both of these are so cool.
Yes.
Yeah. But I gotta go. He's got to go away.
And part of the reason that they're so cool is that they do not lean into that just throw everything at it. I mean, like the shark one does a little bit, but it keeps it like it looks like they did the Coco Chanel treatment. Like they put a bunch of stuff on, and then at the end they took one thing off, and they're like, okay, that's the one thing too much.
I think
here,
if the one thing that you would think would stand out differently was these arms, but they have to get the crystals somehow.
Right.
Yep.
You know, so that's what that's what they're doing. Is like
I
all
want
of
a
this
T-shirt
stuff.
that says that they have to get the crystals somehow. Aquazone.
Yeah, they all have the arms. So even the smallest of the Aquazone or the Aquanauts has one front arm.
Well, and I love those segmented cones that have the little facets on them.
Yeah,
really,
pay no
really
attention
cool.
to that one. It's been chewed up by a dog when I was 10.
And I'm sure we can forgive you.
This is my original one from when I was a kid, and this thing is chewed to crap. I don't know if you probably can't see
it.
It
Has a
It's
patina.
There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that this one is probably the
one's the
best.
winner.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
It feels like
one.
one of the more sci-fi vehicles.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean it's cool because these still open up and everything on the sides.
Amazing.
So I don't know. You don't have any of the originals? None? Zero?
Aquazone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, we've never. So we haven't gotten to the
collecting
vintage sets yet. Like
Gotcha.
that is a road we've avoided so far. Other
We've
than like
stared
Monster
into
Fighters.
the abyss.
Yeah. Look, I'm sure that you know, and you've probably heard it from everyone else that you guys hang out with, but it's a dangerous path.
It is absolutely.
Well,
I
I
know.
love ephemera anyway, right? The old box art, the old instructions, old catalogs.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much collecting I can do before I just implode. I need to pace myself.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is awesome. Maniac for Brick says, I own the Aquazone retail display with one of those subs, and it still has working lights and sound.
Nice.
That
That's
is
cool.
so cool.
I offer you 1 farthing for them.
Yes, and I love Doc Sampson says, Lego themes always be stealing crystals. Miners did it too.
Yeah.
It's a theme.
Yeah.
It's a theme.
Crystals power. Look, this powers the universe in Lego.
It does. It's true. It powers the universe here in our house as well. So, crystals.
Dilithium Lego.
So, before we go, first of all, I want to say thank you, Adam, so much for joining us today. What a fun show! And so, this is something.
Seriously, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Of course, and this is something that I hope to do in our future history shows: is finding people who are really big fans of a particular theme and coming and talking to us about it. Because certainly we and the viewers got a lot more information about this than I could have just pulled on my own from.
I hope so.
Yo,
But hey, don't,
are you kidding?
If you want to do future stuff, don't forget Fabufan MKE.
Oh no, don't worry. When we get to the future, when we get to the history of Fabuland, we will absolutely be having.
That'll be like a 5-part episode, right?
It will be. Well, somebody was like, "When are you going to do the Star Wars?" I was like, that would be first. It's too much.
It's like
too
a
much.
season.
Yeah.
That's like a whole season.
Yeah, that's hard, and we all know Star Wars. Come on.
Exactly. Like that's why I've been focusing a lot on these kind of more forgotten themes. I mean, not that like certainly there's a big fan base for these, but they're not the themes that people think about. Like I don't think about.
Right. It's not a long. These weren't even the subsets and everything that came out through the years. It's not a long-lasting thing like Ninjago. Like that's been going on forever now.
Yeah, 10 years. My goodness. But okay, so we just a reminder to everybody, we have the challenge that's going on, and the challenge is to come up with an awesome backdrop for us to use on the show. It does not have to be a video,
but it should be as much Lego as possible.
As much Lego as possible.
Simple or complex, but try not to show stuff that's not Lego.
Right. So all of the rules are up on TrickyBricks.com. They're also in the Discord server, so you can check that out and get all the rules and the dimensions and all that stuff to send it in. And not only are we going to look at all of them on Friday, but everybody who turns one in, we will use their backdrop at some point in the future in the shows, because we are working on underwater back there in our sea cave. We have a large build that we're working on, so we are going green screen for the foreseeable future.
So check this out. We already gave this tip, but look at how much of this screen, this rectangle, you can see right now, and put your figures
with
there,
our big heads on it.
Because there's a lot more, you know, that's not us. So don't hide all your excitement behind our shirts.
Yeah, exactly. But we're really looking forward to seeing what everybody will come up with.
It'll be so fun. We get to hang out in other people's imaginary Lego worlds.
Exactly. So thanks again, Adam, for joining us. Thanks everybody for coming today and hearing us blather on about amazing old Lego themes. We really appreciate it. Hopefully everybody left here learning something new today. I know I certainly did.
I did.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the main reason I like doing these history of, is so I learn about it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's for you all too, but
because now we all know about Galador. Sorry, everyone. Glinching. All right.
Cut back to me, and there's like a leg here.
No, God, no.
A lawnmower.
But anyway, until next time, which is Friday at 10 a.m., we will be here, everybody. Please don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, keep your distance, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.